Welcome, seriously welcome to a John Legg fragrance review. You know what, if you would kindly thumbs up this or any of my videos, I would be so grateful, and if you consider subscribing, I would consider that my honour and my privilege, so thank you. Right, there is a fragrance house, a legendary fragrance house called Creed. Possibly its most well-known offering is Creed Aventus, okay? They also do quite a few other fragrances. Well, I will warn you, the problem with Creed is the prices. They are eye-wateringly, mostly sort of between the £200 and £300 mark if you want the 100ml bottle. So they're serious prices. They're also very seriously amazing scents, all of them. Okay, 1995 they launched a sort of, what should we call it, a very exciting fragrance and it's called Millesime Imperial. Okay, it's launched and it's marketed as a unisex for men and for women. Personally, I think it definitely leans more towards a male fragrance. Okay, it is, however, a very exciting fragrance because of the sort of notes in it. However, I'm sorry to disappoint you, I'm not going to review the actual Millesime Imperial by Creed because seriously, I cannot justify £250 for 100ml. However, this is where COPYCAT UK come in, and you know, COPYCAT UK, they've won my heart with the Baccarat 540 clone. Here we go. This is COPYCAT's take on Millesime Imperial. They just call it Millesime. Okay, let's go for it. Oh man, you know, there are so many fragrances out there which we say are for the colder weather, for the colder months. This is seriously not that. This is one of those few unique fragrances which is for the spring and the summer. In fact, this for me is everything about the spring and the summer condensed and put in a bottle. This is absolutely a wow fragrance. Right, let me try and tell you roughly what you're going to get in terms of the notes. At the top, you get a massive blast of fruit. I think there's some sort of watermelon in there, and there's some sort of berries, and there's also, crazily, a sort of a sea salty sort of note. In the middle, you've got some florals, which I think is like an iris maybe. But it's not the heavy iris that's used in sort of Dior Homme. It's quite a light sort of iris. And then at the bottom, this is what I get in the bottom. You get a few woods, very light sort of woods. I also get a hint of tobacco, but it's a very sweet tobacco. And I also get, this is a crazy one, I also, for my nose, I smell tea, as in leaf tea, as in like a cup of tea that you'd make. Right, I get a little bit of that. Right, how would I describe this? This is pure raw energy, and it's, I forgot to mention it, it's the bergamot which absolutely blasts the energy at you. The bergamot is at the top, and that's the thing that really sort of gives it that punchy, exciting sort of vibrance. Okay, spring and summertime, this is awesome. Now, how does this compare with the original? In other words, is it a good clone or copy? Okay, it's many years ago since I smelt the original Creed, but I would say that this is probably about a 90% copy. It's pretty good. But what about it as a fragrance? You know what, as a fragrance, this is amazing, and I've had it for a few weeks. I've sprayed it on both men and women, and all of them just go, wow, that is amazing. In fact, one guy says to me, Leggy, I'll give you the money, can you just order me one? He was that impressed with it. Okay, how long does it last? How does it perform? This one's pretty good. okay, as indeed all the copycats are. In fact, you can see it leaves like an oily sort of residue on your arm. You know it's going to last. I get a solid 2.5 hours big projection, okay, really fires off you. Then it comes down a little bit, and for the next sort of hour and a half it's a projection, but it's less of a projection. It's sort of more like a bubble around you. And this is the crazy thing. I must have sprayed it on my neck, and I must have had my jacket on that I wear sort of every day. And it wasn't until I came to the next day, I put that jacket on, and the second I put it on, I went, I can still smell it, because it must have just got a little bit on the jacket collar, and trust me, it was still there the following day. Right, so the amazing thing about this is its smell. In fact, let's give it a rating, if you like, for its smell. Out of 10, I would say this is a good 9 out of 10. It's almost a perfect smell, because those notes combined together give it that sort of creamy, smooth freshness. And it says, look at me, I'm ready for spring, I'm ready for summer, okay? Projection, I would give this a sort of maybe an 8.5 to 9 out of 10 in terms of its performance. Okay, that this is the copycat version. I'm not talking about the original Creed, because when you read stuff about the Creeds, because they make them in such small batches over the years, excuse me, over the years their formulation changes slightly, and what was produced in 1995 is very different to what they produce in 2020, say, for example. Okay, this one is consistent from Copycat, and I've got to say I absolutely am amazed by this fragrance, and it's one of those few ones that can deal with the heat of the spring and the summer. So, is it a good fragrance? You know what? Yes. Buy this one, because it's around about £50, so you're saving yourself about £200. Saving £200, and you're getting the same, pretty much the same scent, and you're getting also an amazing performance out of a fragrance. So, there you go. Open, honest review. I've told you it's good, I've told you it's worth buying, and I would appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription. I'd be honoured. So take care, stay safe, spray fragrance every day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.